Hi, I'm Erin Birch. I'm the founder of the Birch Method. A lot of people come to me specifically because their bodies change, and they're often surprised at the degree to which they do change and the ways in which they can change. Also, I'm in conversation with people and I notice that their belief is that their body can't change or won't change. And I want to talk to you today about how moldable this clay of our body really is. I was a potter for many years. I'm going to pull this out from behind my pillows, not where it usually sits. And this is a piece that I made, and it's got bodies all around it because, of course, that's my passion. And I spent a lot of time with my hands in clay. And what I loved about it was that it can be molded in any way, whether it's on a wheel and you're shaping it with the force of the wheel, or if you're hand building with your hands. But having my hands in clay just felt so amazing because I could have it do, as long as I had the skill, I could have it do whatever I wanted. And it could be used in tiles or for wall pieces or for functional things or for beauty. And it was just an amazing thing. And it was very, very responsive. If you push your thumb into clay, it makes an imprint of your finger. What I love about handmade pottery is that my hands are all over this vessel. You know, it's like my fingerprints are being worn in the shape of a vessel. And so it's imprintable, it's responsive, and you can change it in any way that you want. Now, unlike clay, we don't fire our bodies in the way that makes it completely, after the fact, not negotiable. However, you know, there is some quote that says that what fires together wires together, and what that means is the more you use your body in a certain way, the more it sort of glues a bit into that pattern. And I spoke last time in my last video about patterns and how changeable they really are. And so I want to reinforce that today, talking about how we as human beings in the clay of our body, it's very, very moldable. I have a client, Kay, who came to me, and she's 60 years old, and she just looked like everything was kind of being pulled down. I don't know if you have that experience, but as we age, a lot of people sort of say, oh, you know, I feel like I don't have the energy, or everything feels tight and stiff. And what I can do with this moldable clay is I can lift that up so that it's more free and more fun and more joyful and easier to live in. I have another client, Martin, who came to me with his knee was bone on bone. And of course, I know that sounds extremely dramatic and sort of like a sentence for surgery, right? I have bone on bone. My surgeon says I have to have surgery. And I understand that, and I get that. And if you're painted into a certain corner, it's really good to have options, and surgery is an option. On the other hand, if surgery is not something that you want to pursue, what I find is that when we mold the clay of our bodies into the alignment, then what happens is that the pain that is associated with the bone on bone is no longer there. And I teach people how to actually live in that zone of no pain, even though they have the bone on bone, no cartilage situation. So that's really, really powerful. And all kinds of things are changeable that people assume are not. And I work with bodies all the time, all day long. I've been working with them for almost 40 years. And what happens is nothing short of amazing. So I want to talk to you today about how you can start to play with this clay that is entirely moldable. What are the things that help to shape this, how to make this more plastic, right? So one of the things is breath. Now, breath literally, obviously, only goes into the lungs from an anatomical, physiological perspective. On the other hand, the effect of breath goes everywhere in your body. When I breathe, every bone in my body is responsive to that breath. So breath helps to expand the tissues, which is the clay. When breath is actually added with stretch, which is one of the foundational pieces of yoga actually, when breath and stretch go together, then that really helps to lengthen the tissues, create more space in the tissues, and feels amazing, which is why I think yoga has risen to the popularity that it has, because people feel like their clay is moldable. And the last thing that I want to share is that there's a law in your body that says that your body responds to the pictures that you feed it. And I'm going to be doing another video specifically about that, so stay tuned. But for today, just know that what you picture in your mind becomes the reality that your body lives. So become really mindful and aware of what pictures you're sending to your body, because that's what you're going to be living out. I'm Erin Birch, and the future of your body starts right now.